Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. March 7th, 2024. Had a bunch of reasons to click on a video. I haven't shared one again in a while. I guess sheep on stockpiled grass. I know it ain't much. It ain't much, but it's enough to keep 40 ewes. What are they getting here? Roughly 265 feet by 64 feet a day. It's keeping 40 ewes ticking. And I guess bale grazing in the background, that's from not yeah, was it last winter? Last winter's bales. I'm just thinking hard about seeding and what we're going to seed. I need to do order tonight. It's way too late for frost seeding, but here in eastern Ohio, I don't really worry about frost seeding. We're hopefully going to get enough rain this spring to get it to sprout, and we just drop it on the ground and it'll go. So what were we doing? So what I do for seeding, I guess, just to explain a little bit, and neither of these fields are good to look at, but just over this hill we unrolled some bales. I assume it's about, and that was last winter. So because of the drought, died for lack of second over here. I'm not going to walk over there, but I assume that field is about 75% coverage. The drought just didn't get, the seed just didn't grow. So I'll spread it at what I call a 25% rate. The field that these sheep were in from June to November, December, I assume it's about 50% bare ground, and so we'll spread it at 50%. And then the field that we fed hay in from June to November with the cows, we'll assume it's 100%, and we'll spread that. So the 100% rate we'll get. Funny, it's snowing, messing with my screen. We'll spread orchard grass and Italian rye, and I got a rate chart, but basically we want 70% grass, 30%, 30% legume, and I know it doesn't add up, but about 70-30, and then I put a brassicas or a broadleaf in there at 10%. So we seed actually at 110%. We'll split the orchard grass and Italian rye in two, knowing that we got a bunch of fescue seed in there that's going to grow anyway. So that'll take up for the biennial rye. When the biennial rye is done, the fescue will be there, and then we'll plant a full rate of clovers. So probably 6 pound of red clover and 3 or 4 pound of white clover. And then I'm probably going to put in about 3 pounds of turnips per acre, and then whatever the chicory and plantain is. I don't have those numbers on top of my head, so I don't have any idea. It'll be about each 5% of the mix, or probably only 5% of the total mix, or 5% of what an acre of that would take. I can post those numbers later if I get them, but I guess several thoughts have crossed my mind. I just haven't had a chance to take a video lately, but I guess, and I know I talk about this all the time, but these sheep were eating a bale of hay every 4 days this summer. They haven't eaten a bale, haven't even had a bite of bale of hay for 2-3 weeks because we haven't had snow. We put hay out when it snows, but even then, you can see up here on top of the hill there's a bale. That's what's left of about 2 weeks of sheep grazing. They just ate a little bit of it, and that was it. We got another bale over here behind the water tank. Same thing. We'll have to go reclaim it and use it for bedding later. And the cattle, we're eating 1.5 to 1 3/4 of a bale a day. They're now going through 2.5 days on 2 bales. So we gained a bunch of days on feed. Actually, first calculation in July was we were going to be 4 bales short for the winter. Calculation in November before we turned out on grass was we may have 44 to 40 bales left over for the winter. And as it stands right now, we've got 160 bale. We're going to have 160 bale carryover. So basically, we gained 160 bales this winter by stockpile grass. Now, you know, I'm telling you, there ain't much here, and I wouldn't put the cows on this. The cows are on a lot heavier stockpile grass than this. But it's just amazing what that has saved us. And that's only part of the story. The story here is really that the drought came. We pulled animals in July. Everybody says, why did you do that? You could have just left them out there picking. This is why, right here. 160 bale carryover. If we'd have just kept them grazing, we'd have got maybe another month. We'd have burnt the forage all out. We would have got no growth the rest of the season at all. We'd have got a month of extra grass. 160 bale carryover is 3 or 4 months worth of bales we were able to save by just allowing this forage to just stay here, and we grazed it, and we've grazed it now. So this field hasn't seen animals since July. I think this was one of the last ones the cows were on. And it's not a whole lot of growth, I'll be the first to admit. The other field over there was a whole lot more. But that's what got us there. And we talk a lot about grazing and about building organic matter and how much water that holds. And you know, we really didn't see that on the front end. We're now seeing it on the back end. And it's just good that we're seeing it no matter what. We're seeing that it's here, that we've got the growth because of the organic matter, because of the soil health, because of the water holding capacity in our soils. We were able to maintain some growth even through the drought and not burn it up and go ahead and use it now. And along with that, I guess one of my many thoughts was, for those of you that are interested in getting sheep, this is, as far as I'm concerned, the only way to feed hay through the winter, especially Eastern Ohio, bad made hay, late made hay. This is the way to feed it right here. Not at all. Stockpile grass. I'm a huge proponent of, if we're going to have sheep, it's nice to balance them with cows. Let these sheep eat the leftover stockpile out here in the field to get them through the winter, carry them through the winter. They don't cost us a thing. They don't cost us hay. And they make it through the winter a whole lot better on this than they ever would on hay. We tried bale grazing with sheep. It worked, but those were areas we would have to completely reseed. Where this way, we don't have to reseed these fields. They're going to grow right back. So hopefully that was a little bit of information. I'll try to make some videos here in the next couple days and get out the rest of my thoughts. We're doing a grazing school right now, so grazing's back kind of on the forefront. Show pigs are kind of selling now, so the breeding's kind of over. Farrowing's kind of over. It's back to thinking about grazing and what we're going to do here this next coming season. I don't really have a hang my hat on thing new I want to do, because the drought kind of kept everything from happening last year. I just want to kind of get back to normal, I guess, if we can. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.